Story begins when I ran into Robbie Williams, Heidi Klum, and the remaining members of Fifth Harmony at the Dolce & Gabbana Spring Show.
Hate him, loathe her, over them, cancel it, tell me everything.
There are many things that the Good Place finale did right. From having Eleanor inspire and help others one last time, to Michael living life as a human, and even giving us a variety of cameos from the expected to the unexpected. Yet, I believe that the biggest accomplishment of this episode was redeeming Tahani's character. By fixing a few issues in Tahani's life and personality, the character went from this...
I did gain praise and acclaim, I dare say on some occasions, more praise and acclaim than my sister Camilla, so...
to this.
I shall start at the bottom and earn my way up. To wit, would anyone like a cup of antimatter?
Sure, I take mine with non-dairy neutrinos. Coming right up.
First, I want to be clear. I do not think that Tahani was a character that needed to be redeemed in the traditional sense. She was not a villain, a demon, or an arguably bad person that pretended to be good. She was a well-written and layered character that was shown to have great strengths and even greater flaws. For every kind gesture, there would be a name drop.
As I said to my good friend Elon Musk.
For every piece of advice, there would be her prioritizing style over substance. Because of her humble bragging, her concern with aesthetics, status, and gossip, Tahani's character, her very personality and aspirations, had to be redeemed in my eyes. For Tahani to become a likable character, she had to grow, a perspective that Jamila Jamil herself seemed to agree with. To my surprise, not only did the finale help Tahani grow into a likable and endearing character, but it turned her into my favorite character of the show. First, there was the problem of her name dropping, which had grown into a caricature of itself over the course of the show. Because of scenes like this...
I'm going to tell you the same thing that I told Mark Zuckerberg right before he ousted Eduardo Saverin. You are smart, you are capable, and the time has come to hit unfriend.
And this...
That is coming from someone whose godfather is the most famous clock in the world.
Is Big Ben somehow your godfather?
Mm-hmm.
It was hard to take Tahani seriously as a character. It seemed as if she was waiting for any opportunity to mention her connection to a random celebrity.
I haven't met a more perfect couple since I set up Drake with Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
The finale fixed this in just two brief, yet beautiful scenes. Her name dropping was normalized and ridiculed when everyone had grown to know that
Frank Gehry is my godfather.
A joke that she herself humbly accepted.
Fair enough. I deserved that.
Then, Tahani herself joked about name-dropping being gauche when Michael asked if he could brag about knowing her, showing how she had accepted her flaws and grown as a person.
Name-dropping's a little gauche, Michael, but do as you must.
In two simple scenes, Tahani's name-dropping was no longer an issue. Then there was the issue of her family. Forced to compete from an early age, Tahani and her famous, creative, sophisticated sister Camilla slowly grew distant as they became more and more competitive with one another. This led to Tahani resenting her sister, upset that Camilla's fame and success always came first in the eyes of everyone else. In fact, this was the way that Tahani died, and even when Michael rescued her, the act was attributed to Camilla.
It was Camilla! No, it was a man, I think. It was Camilla!
It was Camilla!
No, it wasn't Camilla! It was someone over there!
But Tahani was also estranged from her parents. By continuously competing against Camilla and losing, she was seen as the lesser child in their eyes, which only made her try to get their appraisal even more. However, that was impossible, as she was never going to be good enough for them.
I was never going to be enough for you. Never going to earn your respect.
Tahani fixed her relationship with Camilla long before the finale, apologizing to her for her fault in the argument and acknowledging that their parents were to blame for who they were and how much they despised one another.
I'm sorry our parents were such wankers. And I understand that you can't accept my apology because that would quench your creative thirst.
Yet, it was during the finale that Tahani's parents came back in her life as changed people, apologizing for what they had done and rectifying it, giving the two sisters a happy family life.
We love you both so much.
So very much. We have a million things to talk to you about, but first, we are sorry. We'll just be endlessly sorry forever and ever.
Instead of competing with her sister, Tahani worked alongside her, enjoying herself and appreciating her family. Finally, there was the biggest problem of all. Tahani had always been more concerned with style over substance. Yes, she would throw amazing parties where everyone had to dress well and eat incredibly sophisticated food, but all of the manual work involved had been done by others. Yes, she would appear to help people, but while alive, she was only truly pretending to help. In Tahani's own words,
I spent most of my life pretending to help people.
but she learned everything. From woodworking to painting and cooking, she learned every skill that there was to learn. When she was done, she threw a party. However, this party was different. The guest list was restricted to her best friends in the world. In the good place, presumably filled with famous and accomplished individuals, Tahani's last party, her best party of all, was reserved for those she truly cared for. Tahani al-Jamil no longer had anything to prove to anyone.
Would you like me to prepare a farewell party for you?
No need. I've done it myself. I've cooked all the food, mixed all the drinks, made all the furniture, repainted all the walls, and trained all the animals.
Tahani's abandonment of her obsession over status and appearances was only the beginning. Her character crystallized when she decided that she was not done with the afterlife. In fact, she wanted to help people, really help people. So, she took one last challenge, becoming an architect in order to better the human race.
I want to be an architect, design afterlives.
Tahani, you're a wonderful person, but you're a person. It's impossible.
Nonsense.
And she was damn good at it too.
Well, I think you'll find that Tahani will be certified very soon.
Tahani al-Jamil threw away all of her concerns regarding style and embraced substance, cementing her as a likable and complex character. By acknowledging and accepting her concern with status and fame, fixing her familial issues, and embracing substance over style, Tahani al-Jamil grew into an endearing and lovable character. She may not have needed a redemption arc, and there may not be a proper name for the arc that we got, but I know I am grateful to have experienced it and been on this journey with her. And I guess one day we'll all get the chance to name drop Tahani al-Jamil and mention her amazing growth. The Good Place was one of the most wholesome and heartwarming TV shows out there, and I would just like to take the time to thank the cast, the writers, and the whole production team for the work that they put into it. I know I am not alone in saying that none of us will ever forget The Good Place because, well, it made us better. All that being said, I do have a question for you. What would you do if you had an infinite amount of Baramies to spend in The Good Place? Thank you for watching. Keep writing.
Eleanor, come on in.